Hey, 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 family. Another day on the right side of the dirt. Every day we can stay where we're at, or we can rise a little bit higher. Another day to get better. So I went in and deleted videos out of my phone because the last video I did kicked me out before I ended the video. Um, so this video is just going to kind of explain the next process, the next steps I'm going to be taking. Um, the a lineup of information I'm going to be sharing. But this next pamphlet is about the progression from healthy living into chemical dependency. So it kind of explains how a person starts to use, and then over time, it progressively you become dependent mentally, some people physically. I'm going to get into anxiety and go through that rational emotive behavioral therapy again. And I'm going to go through some more. I'm going to add to the rational emotive therapy some more information. I'm going to go through some examples of a thinking report and show you guys what a thinking report looks like. We're going to start diving into stress and stress management, talk about signs and symptoms of stress, what causes it, what affects it. How to stop worrying, quick stress relief, coping with worry and anxiety, stress management, coping skills. Going to go into what SMART recovery is, self-management and recovery training, SMART. I'm going to get into acceptance. So that's probably what's going to be going on over the next week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. But yeah, it's not too late. We're not too young. We're not too old. Get started on changing here. Oh, so I'm just gonna get some share some spirituality tonight, and then we'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming. I know I still have to finish up my life story, so I guess I might. Yeah, I gotta lay some stuff out and see what's going on here. But let's see what today's got in the Bible in 366 days. Let's see what the reading is for today, which is the 5th. Wow, I should have read yesterday's. Yesterday was the 4th. Is this really the 5th? All right, I'm going to read yesterday's actually because I'm always talking about having faith in that things are going to work out for the better. Be optimistic. I catch myself sometimes thinking about something that somebody said. Like I got a call yesterday from my significant other. She hasn't talked to me in a little over a week. And she mentioned that she probably going to be coming back to live here. And so instantly I start thinking about what the outcomes are going to be. You know, how she's going to treat me, this and that. But today I stopped myself from thinking like that. And I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about that. Worrying and imagining outcomes of future or imagining future outcomes of a situation creates worry, anxiety, and it takes away from the joy of today. So I decided not to think about that, and I told myself that we'll deal with that when it gets here. But then I also crossed my mind that I should communicate with her. One of the steps in changing is having good communication. Not actually having good communication skills, but actually communicating, and just let her, instead of me sitting there worrying about um, the future outcomes, I could just talk to her. She wanted me to call her tonight and run that past her, the thoughts that I was having, and request that we try to work through the whatever issues as adults and not ruin each other's peace and stuff like that. And I started thinking about, wow, man, I got to move my little station for my videos. I might have to move that into the bedroom. So I started to, worry and create anxiety in myself. And I stopped that. But yesterday's reading out of this was called Faith Walk. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to read that one, and I might read today's, and then that'll be today's video. And I'll share my other journal entry. But yeah, hopefully everybody's getting something out of this. It's just information. I'm not an expert. I'm changing right along with, some of this information I'm sharing about values and, our locus of control and all that stuff. I'm just presenting the information right now. And at the same time, I'm thinking, man, I need to sit down and do this stuff too. So I'm going to have to start putting in just a little bit of extra work. Got plenty of time after making a video. I got all night. Instead of sitting here watching YouTube or sitting here lollygagging doing nothing, I might as well start actually putting in the work on this, and got my notebooks over here and start doing it. Finish up writing a little bit more on my vision. I still do have my little goals here that I wrote down for quitting smoking, and I went through and changed all the dates and stuff in it, because when the things happened with my mom and my brother, I kind of got off track with that. But I changed it from February. So yeah, I changed it to April 6th for my quit date. And I was starting January 27th. I went down to one cigarette. I changed the dates in it. It's the same goal, but I have been sticking with that for a week and a half now, where I've only had one cigarette in the morning, one at lunch, and I'm using gum. I'm getting ready to, so only have one. So that was on January 27th. Bum, 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 bum. Starting February 5th, Monday, only have 3 after work. All right, I've already had one. So that's going to be, all right, I'm going to try to only have 2 more tonight, which I don't see why not. 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And I'm just talking about it. I already want to have one. So I'll probably just do 4, maybe 4 or 5 tonight. And now that I haven't been reading over this, but I'm supposed to start doing only 3 cigarettes after work for 3 weeks. Then cut down to 2 after work for 2 weeks. Cut down to 1 after work. Okay, so I'm getting more, going into eliminating more cigarettes, becoming more tobacco free. Got to keep the way we speak about the things we're trying to change in a positive, with positive words, like become tobacco free instead of quit smoking. The word quit is negative. Become is a positive. It's a creative word. Oh man. All right. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm not an expert on anything financial, health, mental health, physical health, goal planning, none of that. I'm just sharing information. And I would probably speak to a professional in the subject if you're trying to do anything that has to do with your health or your money, your mental health, your physical health. Everybody's circumstances are different. So this is just for learning purposes only. You could say entertainment purposes only. But hopefully it's not just entertainment to you guys. Hopefully some of this information is hitting home. And if you're watching my videos, I know it's hitting home with you, or you wouldn't be watching my videos. This is social media. This is a video platform. If it doesn't interest you and it's not hitting home with you, you're not watching it, or they're not watching it. But for those of you that are watching it, hey, let's do this journey and let's work through some stuff together. We'll just, you keep taking in the information. Start small. If you are an active user of alcohol and drugs, and that's something you're trying to change, because if you want to change your future and the way your life is, that's probably going to be one of the first things you're going to want to tackle. But like I said, speak to a professional, speak to a professional counselor, a doctor, or something else. Yeah, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working. Life's difficult when you're trying to change. I was reading something today at lunch break. I pulled up something and I was looking. Well, I don't know what I was looking up. I looked up. But anyway, it came up with one of the main reasons people find it difficult to change is because we're giving up control. I need to look that up. But yeah, then it got me thinking about the control, the locus of control, and all that. But as I'm going through this stuff, I'm looking up different information. I'm learning more. And now I'm starting to add more stuff to all of the material that I still have from the challenge incarceration, inpatient treatment, self-development, discipline building program that I went through. Rather than sit in prison for 6 years, I did that. And yeah, if you've been watching my videos, you already know. But I know I need to finish getting into. For some reason, the life story kind of took back seat. Finishing my life story, because I'm realizing that, you know what, all this stuff that I think that I went through in life that was difficult, it made me who I am. Going through all the foster care and the juvenile penitentiary and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's adversity, it's challenges, it was difficulty. But I'm realizing that, you know what, I'm not something special. The stuff that I went through is not special. It did prepare me for and give me the skills and the knowledge in order to share the information I'm sharing. But I'm realizing that everybody, all of us, you, me, everybody around you, we don't go out and just share all of our struggles with people. Hey, I did that. This happened to me. This happened to me. Because we start to think that people are going to think differently of us, look down on us or something. But what's most personal to me, I'm finding out, is also most universal out here in the world. A lot of people have went through the same exact things that I went through. Most people have. And so it's not that I'm something special. I'm just another guy just like you that went through some challenges, didn't have the easy, structured, productive, I'm not sure how to say it. I didn't have we would say normal. I didn't have a normal life. But maybe this is normal. Maybe what I went through is normal out here for most people. So, but yeah, that's that. I just want to get into the word a little bit here and read this. But this one is for February 4th. I should have a separate, just have a separate channel on the faith and this and that. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. Faith walk. Faith has feet. Faith is action. The high priest didn't stand at the river's edge waiting for the waters to part, but walked into the water and the water parted. Okay? Don't expect God to open the way before you move. He wants you to step out in faith. He wants to see us trust him before he parts the waters. Okay, if you're familiar with the Bible, I believe I've heard the story about how God parted the Red Sea, just two big giant walls of water. I'm not 100% sure, but for the Israelites to leave to get somewhere or something. But yeah. And as I was saying, relating to my story, how I was laying in that jail bunk, my head in my pillow, talking honestly to my heart, where I know the Holy Spirit lives because I had accepted Christ as my Savior prior to that. I wasn't living and walking the walk. Wasn't really even talking the talk. But I accepted him and I believe in him. And that never changes once you do that, is what I'm finding out. And once I started to, and I asked and talked to him, talked to myself honestly, deep down in my heart, and instantly I felt some changes, right? But I didn't go about putting in any action or once you got out of jail, you know how you get into jail and all of a sudden you're faithful and I'm going to change and this and that, and you realize you got to remove people from the circumstances in order for them to, or most people need to have a negative experience, be removed from their current living circumstances, forcefully pulled out, put into jail or whatnot, in order for them to see from a different perspective, see from a different view. And then all of a sudden, oh man, you start to appreciate what you had. You're going to change all types of stuff. Well, you get out, and you just all of a sudden you're going back to work, and then the importance and the seriousness of that situation slowly, like I said in my last video on core values, starts the importance when we're talking about complacency in my journal reading. And you just go back to your original way of living, the way that is already a formed habit. You slowly get back into the autonomous life that you've been living. And but when I actually started to put in the action, eliminate the substances, change my environment, start replacing that lifestyle with something different, that's when God stepped in. That's when, and man, life was on a trajectory to a new path quickly for some years there. Now, to me, it seems, it's slowing down. But that's just because there was a lot of stuff for me to change at the beginning. A lot of, all the stuff that was created from the lifestyle that I was living. All the financial stresses and financial problems that I caused, all the getting my driver's license and just becoming legal and getting on my feet and living a productive life. Well, that was all external stuff. Yeah, some internal stuff had to change, but that was all external stuff. Now, so that was like the first 9 years of my sobriety, and now the internal stuff has to start, and that's what I'm teaching here, and or presenting, providing, sharing, and now the recovery starts. The actual action of changing the way I see things. So I got to look at different areas of my life, and I look at different areas of my life in different ways. And I got to get all this stuff down on paper, a bunch of notepads, and just sit and journal and write the stuff down. And it's kind of chaotic writing this bunch of stuff down and trying to do a bunch of different stuff at a time. But me, I'm that way. I'm a multitasker. If it's easier for you to just look at one situation, one area of your life or something, and start small and change that, all of these concepts that I've shared throughout my videos, they're not laid out in any particular format. It's just been coming as it comes to me, and so yeah, that's kind of, man. Hope you guys are tracking me here. Sometimes I just get all off the wall, and some internal changes now. Step out in faith. So faith has feet. Faith is action. The high priest didn't stand at the river's edge waiting for the waters to part, but walked into the water and the water parted. Don't expect God to open the way before you move. He wants you to step out in faith. He wants to see us trust him before he parts the waters. Okay, so now it explains, it goes to the Bible verses. This is Joshua chapter 3, verses 9 through 17. So Joshua told the Israelites, "Come and listen to what the Lord your God says. Today you will know that the living God is among you. He will surely drive out the Canaanites, Hittites, Hivites, Perizzites, Girgashites, Amorites, and Jebusites ahead of you." I have no clue what any of that is, the people are. Look, the Ark of the Covenant, which belongs to the Lord of the whole earth, will lead you across the Jordan River. Now choose 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one from each tribe. The priests will carry the Ark of the Lord of all the earth. As soon as their feet touch the water, the flow of water will be cut off upstream, and the river will stand up like a wall. So the people left their camp to cross the Jordan, and the priests who were carrying the Ark of the Covenant went ahead of them. It was the harvest season, and the Jordan was overflowing its banks. But as soon as the feet of the priests who were carrying the ark touched the water at the river's edge, the water above that point began backing up a great distance away at a town called Adam, which is near Zarethan. And the water below that point flowed on to the Dead Sea until the riverbed was dry. Then all the people crossed over near the town of Jericho. Meanwhile, the priests who were carrying the Ark of the Covenant, Lord's Covenant, stood on dry ground in the middle of the riverbed as the people passed by. They waited there until the whole nation of Israel had crossed the Jordan on dry ground. So, faith walk. All right, I'm going to get into my journal reading for today, and then the next video, we'll get into this. I'm just going to start digging into the information. It's going to be the progression from healthy living into chemical dependency. Then I'm going to get into stress and anxiety and worry and all that in future videos here. And what I'm trying to do, it'll all come together. I will be able to have some form of format, some take it all in, and yeah, let me get into this journal reading and get this video over with here. Hopefully I provided with you with a little bit of insight. I know I didn't share some life-changing information or anything yet. All right, so what day was I on here? Damn. Here we go. All right. So we're on October 16th of 2011. What was positive and what was negative about today? The positive for today is that I got moved out of the dorm. So Squad 3 must have moved out of the dorm and went down into the other hallway. I don't remember which wing that was. And on to the East Hall. Negative for today is the day went by slow because there was nothing on the schedule. But forward progress, moved out of that big dorm with all the bunk beds in it, and now we're in just a cell with another bunkmate, another cellmate. So instead of having the whole squad and everybody being responsible and having to do PT, discipline PT for one person, now you're just in a cell with one person and less likely to have to suffer the consequences for other people's actions. But so the negative for today, it went by slow because there was nothing on the schedule. What were the main feelings that I experienced today? Today was one of those days where I was sad because I missed my freedom and my family. So emotions, man, we're going up and down in life with our emotions. You might be all excited and motivated and thinking positive and optimistic and everything, and it is normal to have down days, to feel discouraged. And just know that, like I said, just know that stuff will pass. It's just part of who our makeup, man. And it's normal. So I was feeling down that day, feeling sad. I actually put the word sad. But if you recall, when I had that video about feelings, you had what? Sad, bad, mad, and scared. And each of those have better describing emotions of a sad state. You know what I'm saying? So today was one of those days where I was sad because I missed my freedom and my family. And the sergeant initialed that, and I had to acknowledge it by writing "Yes, sir" next to it. What helped me make it through the day? I tried to stay focused on the work I have and remember that I can use all this to help me stay free. So what helped me make it through the day is that I tried to stay focused on the work I have and remember that I can use all this to help me stay free. And what did I learn today? I circled this and put a star by it also. So that's 2 days in a row. What did I learn today? Today I learned that a lot of inmates experienced the same results upon release in the past. Plans of change are discarded as freedom is granted, ending in continued drug and alcohol use, crime, and incarceration. Holy shit. I learned that a lot of the inmates experienced the same results. What's most personal is also most universal. What the hell? I didn't plan that, man. Again, the same results upon release in the past. Plans of change, like I said, when we're incarcerated, all these plans change. How we're going to stay free, how we're going to change our lives, get sober, are discarded. Plans of change are discarded as freedom is granted, ending in continued drug and alcohol use, crime, and incarceration. Wow, that's two good ones in 2 days in a row. Well, family, hope you're getting something out of this. I don't see how it can't be. Anybody, even if your life is going good, this information has to be enlightening. It has to be providing a different perspective on things, maybe give some people some gratitude. But then again, I think that if the people that it would give gratitude to most likely wouldn't be viewing my videos. People's lives that are going well. A lot of us, including you, if you're watching this for the first time watching one of my videos, by the time you're seeing this, I've got over 300 videos, and probably have posted about 40 of them by now. So check those out, and there's still 320 more to come that at the time that you're seeing this, I have already recorded them. Because if you're watching this for the first time, I'm recording 1 year's worth of videos, keeping them private. And I plan, I might go sooner and make these public. So it all depends. It all depends, man. It's like I'm waiting. And maybe I want to start editing some videos and learning more about making these content. I was starting to do the thumbnails and all this, what's going to make somebody click and this and that. And I'm not really concerned about that anymore. Those ones will still keep their thumbnails. I was learning how to do thumbnails. I did actually post a couple of videos private, public. I started to read some of the stuff that I come across that I did wildlife firefighting training while I was in boot camp also. And I started with all the wildfires that I was seeing on the news that was going on in California. I was like, huh. And I said that I wanted to post something that's public so that I could see if the watermark, the subscribe button, and all that was there. Well, yeah, it's there. So the videos that I actually put, what do they call it? End clips where I can steer you to another video. Those videos, I should have did that with those two. I can still try that. But anyway, hope you guys are getting some out of this. Watching me start with my very first video. Looked like I was going to start showing people how to do YouTube videos, but then I found my content and my purpose and my value, and I started doing that, and slowly got gravitated away from finishing the life story about all the struggles and stuff that I do want to finish that though, because it's that last part there that shows the transition from my old way of living to my new way of living, and yeah. So now, and I've even stopped numbering the videos. I was having each video from 1 all the way up. I stopped numbering them. I think the content that I'm delivering has become more important. The subject matter it's become more important, and I'm becoming more involved in the process. That, yeah, I don't even want the thumbnails, people to see, oh, hey, there's Jason. It's another video. Hey, there's Jason. You're going to see Jason, and you're going to know it's a video from me, not some thumbnail. And you don't have to look, see what channel it came from. You know, you see me, and you know what it's about. You know what the video is going to be about. At least a general idea of what it's going to be about. Man, I feel like I just want to keep going for the video. Maybe, shit. Oh man, what can we do? Let's just do is keep this on the same track here. Let's see what Proverbs chapter 5 says. Because today's the 5th. So if you read a chapter out of the Proverbs every day of the month, I think there's 31. There might only be 30. You might have to read one twice, but son, pay attention and listen to my wisdom and insight. Then you will know how to behave properly, and your words will show that you have knowledge. The lips of another man's wife may be as sweet as honey, and her kisses as smooth as olive oil, but when it is all over, she leaves you nothing but bitterness and pain. She will take you down to the world of the dead. The road she walks is the road to death. She does not stay on the road to life, but wanders off and does not realize what is happening. Now listen to me, sons, and never forget what I am saying. Keep away from such a woman. Don't even go near her door. If you do, others will gain the respect that you once had, and you will die young at the hands of merciless men. Yes, strangers will take all your wealth, and what you have worked for will belong to someone else. You will lie groaning on your deathbed, your flesh and muscles being eaten away, and you will say, why would I never learn? Why would I never let anyone correct me? I wouldn't listen to my teachers. I paid no attention to them, and suddenly I found myself publicly disgraced. Be faithful to your own wife and give your love to her alone. Children that you have by other women will do you no good. Your children should grow up to help you, not strangers. So be happy with your wife and find your joy with the girl you married, pretty and graceful as a deer. Let her charms keep you happy. Let her surround you with her love. Son, why should you give your love to another woman? Why should you prefer the charms of another man's wife? The Lord sees everything you do. Wherever you go, he is watching. The sins of a wicked man are a trap. He gets caught in the net of his own sin. He dies because he has no self-control. His utter stupidity will send him to his grave. That's a short chapter, but that's what that chapter's on. Let me show you guys something here. But this is what it looks like in my book of Proverbs. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff underlined in here. And the next page has got a lot of stuff underlined, and it will continue to look like that throughout these Proverbs. But so that's the 5th. I'm going to go ahead and do another one, the 5th out of the 366. I'm going to do the 5th since today is the 5th, and see what that one says. Seasons is the name of the chapter. The name of the reading for the day is called Seasons. The Lord undertakes for us in different areas of our lives in different seasons. Wow. The Lord undertakes for us in different areas of our lives in different seasons. He provided manna for the Israelites in the wilderness until they could provide for themselves. The Lord will supply what you need the Lord will supply what we need while we need it. As soon as we are able to undertake ourselves in that area, He will cease to supply in order for us to mature. Does that hit home with anybody? I mean, see, all of us, we all read to the level of our subconscious mind, to the level of our own perception. So when I see something that's like, man, this is some great stuff. Some of you guys are probably like, but some of you are like, yeah, that's some great stuff, man. And those are probably the people that are watching. During all this time, you have not deserted the other tribes. You have been careful to obey the commandments of the Lord your God right up to the present day. And now the Lord your God has given the other tribes rest, as He promised them. So go back home to the land that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you as your possession on the east side of the Jordan River. But be very careful to obey all the commandments and the instructions that Moses gave you. Love the Lord your God, walk in all His ways, obey His commands, hold firmly to Him, and serve Him with all your heart and all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went home. Moses had given the land of Bashan, east of the Jordan River, to the half tribe of Manasseh. The other half of the tribe was given land west of the Jordan. As Joshua sent them away and blessed them, he said to them, go back to your homes with the great wealth you have taken from your enemies, the vast herds of livestock, the silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and the large supply of clothing. The Lord undertakes for us in different areas of our lives in different seasons. He provided manna for the Israelites in the wilderness until they could provide for themselves. So He provides until we can provide for ourselves. And I've seen that through my life, man. I've never not made it through anything up until this day. Still here, still kicking, still getting better every day. The Lord will supply what we need while we need it. As soon as we are able to undertake for ourselves in that area, He will cease to supply in order for us to mature. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get into the progression from healthy living into dependency, chemical dependency, in the next video. And then just snowball from there with the stack of information that I've got sitting here. Keep pushing forward. Never give up. Just because we've done something so long does not mean we have to continue to do it. Let's change. Let's get better every day, guys. Thanks for watching.